What channel you on?
GNS excavation.
I'm typing in here.
All right. So we'll start off by saying, Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone who are well, and salutations and blessings to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word with truth and in sincerity. Turn this up. Just wanted to go in real quick on the subject of the Notre Dame Cathedral burning. Of watching, the live feed and watching the news clippings, and people are worshiping this church like it's a living being, like the Most High was really in that church. You got people crying and talking about how much history has been lost, and the old relics and things like that have been burned up, and things like the altar is destroyed. Well, that's good, man. That damn church, the altar should be destroyed, because that church is a high place for Baal, man. The Lord wasn't in that church, and that's the same thing that's going to start happening to the rest of these churches, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to cast down all the churches and all the idols, man, because one, it's unlawful, and two, it's responsible. Especially Catholicism is responsible, and all these religions are responsible for the destruction of Israel, man.
You ready, bro?
All
right, this book, Acts chapter 7, verse 48. Howbeit, the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet.
Yeah, so the Lord doesn't dwell in temples made with hands, So the Most High wasn't in that church or in that temple, man, the Notre Dame Cathedral. So if the Lord wasn't there, what was there?
Paganism, idol worship,
yep,
false gods, because Christianity, the modern day Christianity, all right, is nothing but modern day pagan worship, man. Every holiday that Christianity celebrates, has nothing to do with the Bible, but it goes back to a pagan origin, man. Christmas, Easter, Lentil, the worship of a woman. That's why Mary is exalted, in those Catholic churches. It goes back to Semiramis and Isis, man. Nothing but Queen of Heaven and all the different idol worship, man, has nothing to do with the Most High. And our people, are still engulfed in that, man. But the Lord's finna break that down, man. He's gonna spiritually, all right. He's spiritually right now tearing it down, but physically, them places gonna burn, man.
This is Leviticus 18:21. It says, "And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech." And that's what they're doing in those churches. Those churches were created for Satan and idol worship, like the brothers said, man. And Israel is causing their kids to pass through the fire, man, which that's against the law. Worshiping Molech and Baal and all these other gods. Jesus Christ being the main one.
You had some more, bro, on it?
It says, "Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy power. I am the Lord." And the Lord is, and his name is being profaned in those churches, man. They call him God, they call him Yahweh, they call him the Lord, Jesus Christ, and all that's in English, man. But the scriptures say no other Slakia. You can't basically says not to utter the name of another God, and that's all that's being uttered in worship, man. When the church burned down, they in the front of the church singing and playing organ music and crying and calling on Jesus Christ, But that's good, man. The Lord is going to destroy all of these temples. This Notre Dame was just the beginning,
Because when you go back to the history, all right, during the time of Constantine, when he made Christianity the religion, all right, of the Holy Roman Empire, because he's a pagan. He's responsible for infusing, you know, a lot of that paganism within the scriptures, you know. But what they would do, all right, they'd take those old pagan temples and they'll run those pagans out of there, and then they just insert Christians in them, man. You know, that's why those temples are made the way they are. You know,
yeah, the Gothic architecture,
the crosses, the stained windows, because they were talking about 13 million people come a year, you know, just to take pictures of the stained windows. When all they go to sun worship, man. See, because Constantine was a worshiper of the sun, man. You know, because he was raised, you know, by I think it was Delician. One of them emperors started with a D, you know, but he was a heavy sun worshiper. You know, and that's who raised Constantine, man. You know, so this modern day Christianity has nothing to do with Bible, and it all has to do with paganism, man.
That's right. You know? This is Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 5. It says, "They have built also the high places of Baal to burn their sons with fire."
And that's the majority of us was made to go to those churches every week almost, man. Especially down here in the South, man. Around the Bible Belt, man. You had to be there, man. Your grandparents, your mother, your aunties, everyone was there, man. So you was made to go to these harlot houses, you know, and they were sacrificing you, you know, because they was giving you had to give your energy and your time, all right, and until this energy that had nothing to do, and this doctrine that had nothing to do with you. How about Shema Shai, the true doctrine, man? You know, you've been going to church all those years, and you didn't even know who you were, man. It took you coming across the camp, or you knew one of the brothers in the camp and they broke it down to you, or you know, you came across a video to find out who you were, man. But you had been in those temples, all right, those harlot houses all these years, man. You know?
Yeah, and that's the temple, that the Catholic temple, the cathedral burning is nothing but a message, man. And the Lord is telling you that Christianity is done, man.
Yeah.
You know? Christianity is completely done. You know, now the Lord is taking out the main hubs of Christianity and Catholicism, right? And he made it public, man, and everybody's watching it.
Yeah, that's, you know, Notre Dame. That's one, you know, most famous, you know, so-called churches, man.
Yeah, they made movies after it.
Yeah,
you know, they got colleges and prestigious universities named after it.
Yeah,
you know.
With the Hunchback of Notre Dame cartoon, you know, I got one for you.
It says they have built also the high places for Baal, you know, and that's the point. You know, people, you people think that these churches and these high prestigious buildings were built for the Most High, but they were built for the other gods, man. You know, they were built for Baal and the community, God of the community, you know, and for these other gods, man. It says to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it. Now that came it into my mind, you know. So the Lord is telling you, like, He never intended for you know, for these idol worshiping, man. He never intended for our children to be passed through the fire, you know. He never intended for Catholicism and Christianity, you know. And he showed you today. The Lord showed you today He's not with that. He's not with Christianity, man. The Lord is not with Christianity. The Lord is not with idol worship, man. You know?
We had those 4 churches burned down here in Louisiana, 3 or 4, you know, that they burnt in Louisiana, man. You see, those churches ain't protected, man. You know, those churches are open to whatever, all right, atrocity, you know, that's gonna befall them, man. You know, but the men of the Lord, all right, the sincere Akim, man, they have their hedge around them, man. Those churches ain't got no hedge, man.
Exactly.
You know, because there's nothing but wickedness, man. And it's leading our people further away from you. How about Shema Shai? This is Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore thus said the Lord, power of hosts, because you speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them, man. You know, so spiritually, we're coming out of the word of Yahweh Shema Shai, because we coming out of the Bible, man. All right, we back up what we say with precepts, man, and go into the understanding of words, you know, and then ultimately the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai dwells with us to give us the true understanding, man. All right. So if this word is coming out, it's spiritually devouring the lies, all right, of Christianity, Islam, or whatever our people into, man. You know, so like the brother said, that what you seen happen to the church, that's symbolic to what's happening to the lies, man. The lies are being devoured, all right, through this word, man, like a fire, man. You know. I got another.
This is
This
is 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds."
Because we not physically out there burning churches down.
Yep.
You know, we're not starting these fires, man. You know, we're nowhere near these churches, man. All right. We right here on YouTube and we on the highways and byways, you know, every week, and we proclaim the true gospel, man. You see, and that's casting down the stronghold, and Christianity is the biggest stronghold that has our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Because especially you northern tribes, you know, you're heavy into their Roman Catholicism, you know, the worship of Mary, Senior Guadalupe.
Yeah,
you know, then you have the Southern Kingdom heavy into that Baptist, all right, the Southern Baptist, you know, garbage, man, you know. So through spirit power, Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, the truth of the Bible is being made manifest, man.
That's right.
You know,
it says, "Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High."
And that's what those Christian churches do. They exalt themselves against the knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai. That's why you had Alton Johnson. You know, he's on the campaign. You know, to prove, all right, the Hebrew Israelites wrong, man.
Right.
All right.
Same thing with that altar boy, altar boy, Malone vocab Malone. You know,
they exalting themselves up against the Most High, man. But this is not our program, man. All right. Christianity does not have a inkling of truth in it, man. You know. It sounds more ridiculous by the day, man.
Yep.
You know, because the Lord is casting it down, man, through his men, man.
It says, "And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai."
Hey, because we're supposed to be in this time frame of grace, you know, the elect gonna come back to obedience, man. You know, and that's what we're pushing, man. Repentance, you know, to our people, true repentance according to the scripture, you know, and obedience, man. You know, Christianity doesn't teach you obedience of the scriptures, man. They don't establish their own righteousness, man. That's why you had the billionaire, you know, Edomite say he gonna donate 100 million euros to the rebuilding of the church. You see, in his eyes, he think he just did a good deed for the Lord. You know, that's righteous, man. You know, but in reality, man, that's your own righteousness, man. That's self-righteous, man. That has nothing to do with the scripture, man. Most are not dealing with those man-made buildings, man. You know?
Since you brought it up, here goes the article from BuzzFeedNews.com. It says a French billionaire has pledged 100 euros to help rebuild the Notre Dame Cathedral.
100 million euros, man. You know? He get that's his 10th, ain't it?
Yeah, right. He giving his 10th.
Yeah. But every law done away with except that time part. You know?
It says French billionaire Francois Henry Pinault said Monday night he and his family will donate 100 million euros to help reconstruct the Notre Dame Cathedral, hours after a catastrophic fire tore through the historic structure, collapsing its spire and causing significant damage. You know, so they in their mind, you know, that's their was one of their high places, man. You know, so in their mind, he's like, no, we're gonna rebuild it because this signifies this is a international symbol of Christianity, man. You know, and we can't have a bad stain on our religion. You know, how does it look like if one of the biggest strongholds of Christianity, you know, just got burned down, but ain't nobody helping to rebuild it?
Yeah.
You know, but the Lord is going to start tearing more of these idols and these statues and these historic, so-called historic buildings down, man.
This is Jeremiah chapter 1. That was on there. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 9. Then the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said unto me, Behold, I have put my words in thy mouth.
Mm-hmm.
See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root up, to pull down, and to destroy, and to throw down, to build and to plant.
Right. So we're throwing down and destroying, the lies and the spirit and the spiritual wickedness that surround our people, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we're building up the nation of Israel. Like scripture saying Amos, that at the tabernacle of David, will be rebuilt as in the days of old. That's what we're doing now. We're rebuilding. We're rebuilding the kingdom, we're rebuilding the tabernacle of David, man.
Yeah.
So as we're rebuilding the tabernacle of David, and we're casting down imaginations and throwing down the lies surrounding the holy scriptures and the Most High Himself, everything physically is going to start to tear down as well, man. That represent those strongholds. Go ahead, Akia.
This book of Amos chapter 9 verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Yeah, so the kingdom of heaven, is is being reconstructed as we see, man. The tabernacle of David is being rebuilt. You're looking at the tabernacle coming together as we speak, man. When brothers go out on the highways and byways and we do studio shows and things like that, as we teach the word, man. Because you have to remember the body of men that have to be gathered is 144,000 in the elect, and that's all it's about. That's the tabernacle of David that's being rebuilt, man. So our tabernacle ain't gonna get burned down.
Spiritual. You see, Esau don't know how to deal with spiritual. See, you can burn those physical, buildings. They can be burned down. Esau got the that DW, direct energy weapon. They can be burned down, man. But the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah dwelling within his men, and the men coming together, that's their spiritual temple being built, man.
Yeah.
You see? Because when you go to the time when Solomon built the temple, what happened when he finished, man? All right, the presence of the Most High Yahweh, filled the temple, man. But now that's our bodies, man. Our spirit, man. That's that tabernacle, of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, man. I got another one. Okay.
This is Job chapter 15 and 34. It says, "For the congregation of the hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery."
Hey, and that's all those places is, man. Tabernacles of bribery, man. Because what you got in Roman Catholicism, the hell doctrine.
Yeah.
To scare people, and control people. You
got the Trinity.
Yeah.
The worship of the Virgin Mary.
And then hell, if you don't do this, you're gonna go to hell. That's bribery, man.
Yeah.
That's extortion, man. Infuse Greek mythology within the scriptures and use it for bribery, man.
And they also they big on tithing. They're big on tithing. It says, "For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery." So that fire was sent upon that church from the Lord, man. That fire was sent. That fire was sent from the Lord. As a matter of fact, the video we were just watching, as the fire broke out, he said it broke out during rush hour. And it's 5 bridges in front of the cathedral. And since it broke out during rush hour, the firefighters couldn't even get to the building to put out the fire, man. So the Lord stopped them from getting to the building and prolonged that fire to burn as long as possible, man. As long as He wanted it to burn. That shows you that the Lord isn't dealing with the cathedral, man. He was not dealing with the church. He purposely stalled for time to let that place burn down, man. And that spiritual, people are probably not even looking at that like, damn, it took us 3 hours to get to this cathedral to, because it was on fire.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even save the thing.
Yeah.
And you know, the people in Christianity, they're not thinking, well, maybe it was for the best, or the Lord wanted to burn it down for a reason.
No.
You know, and if they do, right, and they crying and singing and worshiping it, you know, but if they do think like that, they think Christianity just being tested. Oh, it's just a test.
Yeah.
You know, no, it's not a test, man. The Lord said He would consume the desolate places with fire.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a precursor to what's coming, man. You know, they try to say Satan did, the Most High did that, man. Satan is a worker for the Most High, man. So at the end of the day, when you go to the source, all right, the origin, you know, of everything, man, everything goes back to the Most High, man. That was His will for that church to be on fire, man. Just like it's gonna be His will for the whole country of America to be on fire, man.
That's right.
A lake of fire, man.
Damn, nobody even knows what started the fire. No. Nobody knows what started the fire. They said wasn't nobody in there. You know, they said it started at the base of that Nimrod penis they had at the top.
Yeah.
The so-called spire.
Yeah.
They said the fire came down and it just spread across the whole roof. You know, it spread across the whole roof. And as the debris was falling, the debris was knocking down, you know, paintings and, like you were saying, the stained glass and all of that, and destroying the organ pianos. You know, it says they conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. You know, so those churches are nothing but vanity, man. You know, they bring forth vanity and conceives mischief, which is exactly what the religions are, man. You know, the vanity, the vanity is, you know, is praying, you know, outside and in front of everybody to be seen of men. You know, praying and putting it up on YouTube, you know, and saying I'm doing this in the name of Christianity so it can be seen of men. You know, that's something vain that the Christian church exudes.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. You know, and it conceives mischief, and the mischief is the wrong breakdowns of the scriptures, man. Mm-hmm. You know, mischief is saying that you know the Lord's name is Jesus Christ, and he looks like David Rothschild, man. You know, that's Cesare Borgia. You know, the scriptures, hell, saying that that the Lord dwells in those temples, that's mischief. You know, that's deceit. Mm-hmm. You know, the scripture says in their belly prepareth deceit, man, and they've deceived the whole world. You know, Christianity has what, like 30 billion people in registered people in Christianity around the world.
2.2 billion.
Yeah, like 2 billion.
2.2 billion to 2.7. Like I say, it's the number one religion. You know, Islam behind it with like 1.4 billion.
And that, and think about that. That's 2 billion people all over the planet. You know, that's spreading this message of vanity and lies. You know, everybody on the planet has seen the fake, you know, the fake Jesus Christ, man. Everybody has seen the Cesare Borgia picture. You know, we were ingrained with that before we could walk. You know, before we could walk. You know, before we could talk. You know, some people's first words was Jesus. You know, some people's first words were Jesus, man. Growing up your whole life thinking that the Lord looks like a brown-haired, stringy-haired dog, man. You know, so it's a righteous thing for that damn place to burn down. Don't pray for that place, man. Don't cry for that place. You know, you got Jake in there crying and the cathedral. You know, I can just hear every Latin around the world. You know.
Yeah.
Crying for the cathedral because the cathedral was burned down, man. Yeah. You know, and Jake goes the hardest for these so-called religions, man.
Yeah,
you know,
the northern kingdoms. I say they are heavy into their Roman Catholicism, man. You know, when you look at it, they have like the biggest population, you know, of Roman Catholicism. If I can find, look it up real quick. Quick preset. But that's the nature, you know, special of the Northern Kingdom, man. You know, with idolatry, man. You know, but then you had some wicked kings in Judah. You know, within the Southern Kingdom that was heavy into it too. And Manasseh probably was the worst one, man.
Yeah.
You know.
This is it's Wisdom of Solomon 14. and 11. It says, therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation. So the Lord is visiting these places, man. And throwing these plagues on these churches and on these idols. Like for example, in Brazil, they got the on at the top in the middle of the capital city. They got that big Jesus Christ, sitting at the top of the city, man, like this.
Rio.
Yeah, kind of Rio. And the Lord is going, and I think the Lord struck it with lightning one time, or was it something else? Or maybe it was another statue that got struck by lightning. But the Lord is going to destroy that thing too, man. That's not the first. As a matter of fact, church has been burning down all year. Now to think about it, because there's a church in Milwaukee that just got burned down. That got burned down. I want to say right before the year started. And then there are articles of other churches being burned down, man. So the Lord is destroying the strongholds of the heathen, man. It says, because in the creature of the Most High, they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks to the souls of men and a snare to the feet of the unwise. So Christianity and all these other religions are traps, man. They're traps. Says it's a snare to the feet of the unwise and a stumbling block to the souls of men. And that's the biggest stumbling block when it comes to the scriptures, man. And the biggest stumbling block when it comes to the scriptures is Christianity and these religions, man. Cause people to not even believe in the Lord, because of the breakdowns that they supposedly come out with, or the doctrine that they come out with is false, and it makes no sense. And more and more people are starting to leave Christianity, because they can't get the true understanding of the Bible. They're not learning anything,
The truth is being made known abroad, man. The truth, all right, is going to destroy a lie every time, man. And the elect, all right, of Israel going to snap out of it, man. The masses, they still going to be led to the slaughter, but the elect of Israel snapping out of that madness, man.
Yeah.
I got a few, and this is how many, this is on Google, it says how many Latin American Catholics are there. It says, according to the detailed Pew Multi-Country Survey 2014, 69% of the Latin American population is Catholic.
More than half.
Yeah, 69%. Then there's 7 out of 10.
70%. We can just round that to 70. Like 70% of Northern Kingdom. The Northern Kingdom is in South America and Latin America are Catholic, man. I bet you it's millions of Israelites crying for that damn place, man. Praying for the place to get rebuilt. But what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen when the Lord sets fire on every church at the same time if he decided to? What if he set fire to the Vatican? That place is next, man. Now I guarantee you now that place is Christianity is marked, man. That place, the Vatican, is probably gonna be next. Probably gonna be an inconspicuous fire, or the building starts to decay, and the support beams just give out or something. This is Wisdom of Solomon 14, chapter 14, verse 23. It says, "For whilst they slew their children in sacrifices, or used secret ceremonies, or made revelings of strange rites, they kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled. But either one slew another traitorously and grieved him by adultery." It's talking about drawing a blank.
Talking about the idol worship.
Kind of talking about Apis the bull.
Yep.
And what's his name? Ptolemy's son. Serapis Christus.
Yeah.
The water. Serapis Christus. But you can bring that up to today because Jesus Christ statue is Serapis Christus in reincarnation, man. So in order to worship that God, marriages were undefiled, people were being slaughtered, or being killed traitorously,
temple harlots.
Kind of temple harlots.
Because their paganism, they were big into orgies, all this random sex. And that's the vibration, all right, of the planet Earth, man. Under all these Christians, man. Everything is random. There's no standard.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing that was going on with these pagans, man.
It says they kept neither lives, it says, so that they reigned in all men without exception, blood, manslaughter, theft, and dissimulation, corruption, unfaithfulness, tumults, perjury. And that's what Christianity has brought, man. That's what these religions bring, nothing but manslaughter and theft and dissimulation. Think about it. How many people did they go? How many countries did they go around saying, Christian convert or die, and they were slaughtering people in the name of Christianity, and they were in theft. They stole America, they stole South America, they stole Latin America, they stole the Philippines, in the name of Christianity.
The name of Christianity, say it was their God-given right, the doctrine of discovery, all that was done under, all right, Jesus Christ, man.
God.
It
says, disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good turns, defiling of souls. So that place was an aid to defiling of souls, man. And not everybody, the whole world, but the souls of Israel, man. Our souls were destroyed, man. It says defiling of souls, changing of kind, disorder in marriages, and when you look at that, the people in the church, their marriages are the most disorderly,
There's a lot of adultery. They go on to church because you already commit physical adultery going there. Spiritual adultery going there, but it's a lot of physical adultery that go on in these churches as well, man.
It says adultery and shameless uncleanness. For example, shameless uncleanness. For example, the diet. Your diet is abomination, man. They teach in the church that there are no more dietary laws. That they can eat pork and shellfish and shrimp and all types of crustaceans, man. That's shame. That's shame. It says, for the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning and the cause and the end of all evil. That's the beginning of all evil, man. Don't scripture say that was the beginning of spiritual fornication, the worship of idols? So it's the beginning, end, and it's the beginning, end, and the cause of all evil, man. Because when you go back into the law, what was the first law? Worship the Lord thy power, and you shall not worship another god. And because Jake wanted to go and worship the gods of Egypt, and worship the gods of Assyria and Babylon, and Canaan, and Cush, and worship all their gods, that's when Israel became evil. Why? Because those idols and those so-called other gods, they put demons on you, man. They are demons, and we know what demons comes, what dissension, evil, now everything that is associated with any negativity is going to come out through you now, because now you're worshiping another God, you're putting on yourself another spirit,
Yeah, nothing to do with how about you outside. So like the brother said, man, the energy of those churches, it does nothing but put more demons on you, man, and have you docile as hell, man.
It says, for either they are mad when they be merry, or prophesy lies, or live unjustly, or else lightly forswear themselves. So, for insomuch as their trust is in idols which have no life, though they swear falsely, yet they look not to be hurt. Say they look not to be hurt. Oh man, don't throw my Jesus Christ statue away. When churches burn down, they're crying. They're praying. They praying to their unjustly false idol god to save the church and stuff, man. It says, Howbeit, for both causes shall they be justly punished, both because they thought not well of the Most High, giving heed unto idols, and also unjustly sworn deceit, despising holiness. You know, when that place teaches these churches, they teach you to despise holiness, man. You know, so now the scripture said you and the idols are going to be punished, man. You know, it says, for it is not the power of them by whom they swear, but it is the just vengeance of sinners, and punisheth always the offense of the ungodly. You know, so there's going to be more churches going to burn down. There's going to be more pastors that are going to, end up dying. You know, there are going to be more people that's going to leave the congregation of the Christian church. You know, there's nothing you can do to stop it because it's the just vengeance, man. You know, of the ungodly. That's about.
Come. The Deuteronomy 28:6-8. Saying the Lord shall scatter thee among our people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there shalt thou serve other gods which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob knew anything of Jesus Christ, man. They knew that the Most High was going to send his son, but they knew Jesus Christ wasn't even the word back then, man. It's all English, man. It's a transliteration of Greek words, man.
Yeah.
Greek wasn't around, man, within Israel, man. It was pure Hebrew when Moses was telling the children of Israel about the curses, man. But now we seeing it playing out today, how people serving wood and stone, man, which is these other philosophy, these other guys, man.
That's right. This is Psalms chapter 115 and 2. It says, wherefore should the heathen say, where is now their God? But our power is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased. It says, their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. So our power is in the heavens, man. Our God, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai is in the heavens, man. Our power is living, And the funny thing about it is, you people worship these idols and worship these other gods, but y'all creating these statues. How can you worship something that you can create? Something that had nothing to do in your creation, and you being created, but you're worshiping your creation, man. That's totally backwards. So you should understand that this isn't really a God. This is something that I made. Hell, look, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai isn't worshiping us.
Yeah.
He created us and he's not worshiping us. It says, their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. Neither speak they through their throat. They that make them are like unto them. So is everyone that trusted in them. Because idols are dead. When it just broke down the five senses, these gods don't have the senses, man, because they're not real, man. They're dead. They're fake, and everyone that worships these are dead. They're fake as well, man. So you're just like those dumb idols that you claim to worship, man. And you're gonna have a just punishment coming. You and that idol, man. You and that idol are gonna have a just punishment, man. That idol's gonna be destroyed, and so will you. That's why the cathedral got destroyed, man. And you got this billionaire guy talking about rebuilding it, and the Lord is going to destroy it again. And this time it's gonna be on a bigger scale.
Or when we get to finish to rebuild, it's gonna be a lot of work.
And the Lord might send a missile, from the Gaza Strip or something, by have somebody mess up and send a missile from the Gaza Strip by accident and blow up the whole block. That's all I had, brother. You have something?
This 1 Peter 2:5. It said, ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So it said we are lively stones and we have built up a spiritual house, man. You see, that's why you don't see brothers with a GoFundMe trying to start a building fund, man. You know, because we understand it ain't about that, man. When you read in times of the apostles, man, you know, they was having a church at people's houses, man.
Yeah.
You know, they wasn't raising money, all right, to buy no fancy temple, man. You know, they just broke bread in each other's houses, man.
Yeah.
You know, because the Lord ain't looking for the masses, man. He looking for those few good men. You know, started 144,000, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. He counted, brother. The brothers, you right, man. You know, the Lord is only looking for the 144,000, but you got what, like you said, 2.8 billion Christians around the world. You know, that's backwards. You know, but y'all claim to believe in the scriptures, but the scriptures plainly tell you that only 144,000, you know, is going to be saved, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go in Revelation 7, it doesn't, and it tells you 12,000 out of each tribe of Israel will be saved, man, not the whole world. You know, Christianity's whole take on the scriptures is that everybody can be saved, but that's just not true, man. That's a deceit that's being framed. You know, that's why these churches are being destroyed, man. You know, that's why the doctrines of Christianity are being destroyed by the men of the Lord, man. You know, it was good for that church. You know, it was good for the whole world to see the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know, our power to destroy that thing, man. You know, and it's gonna be more to come. You know, so with that, you had anything, brother?
It was it, bro.
Okay, kind of. So with that, you know, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who are well, and salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word of truth and in sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom. That's a brother.